For more on this story, we're joined by DA spokesperson Solly Malatsi, who joins us live from our Cape Town studio. Solly, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Have you actually spoken to the majority of families about their sentiments on this issue or not?
So the Gauteng leadership of the DA has yesterday and today met with a committee that represents some of the families that have relatives who are affected by the Life Esidimeni situation, and those engagements were fruitful. And as you may have seen today, we have released a media alert indicating that tomorrow we'll be having a memorial outside the office of the Premier of Gauteng, and some of those family members will actually be part of that memorial.
So have you spoken to Christine Khumalo, who's one of the representatives of the majority of the families affected by the Life Esidimeni tragedy? Because we did, and they're not happy with this.
Look, I wasn't part of the meeting, so I don't know if the individual in question was part of the meeting, but I do know for sure that our Gauteng leadership yesterday and today met with a committee that represent the families, some of the families that were affected by the situation, to the extent to which that the agreement emanating from the meeting was that those representatives will join the party tomorrow in the memorial service that will be held, as again another way of the party paying tribute to those families and victims outside the office of the Premier tomorrow.
Solly, as a national spokesperson, I would have expected you to know who you spoke to on this issue, because it is causing outrage. But let's listen to what Christine Khumalo has to say about this issue, and we'll pick up after that.
It is quite clear it is almost an I don't care attitude that they have shown to the families. So clearly they don't give a damn about us, and we know that for certain now.
She says the DA has an I don't care attitude about the grieving families. What do you have to say about that?
Well, it is absolutely incorrect. As I indicated to you, the provincial leadership of Gauteng met with a committee that also represents the families. They met yesterday. They had a second meeting again today, and those engagements were fruitful. And to go back to your earlier question about, whether I would know that Christine was part of the meeting or not, when we engage a committee, what is important is their representation of the families that they represent, and we're not trying to isolate one individual from the other. The fact of the matter is the committee that the party met with represent the families, and to the extent of their credibility in representing those families, we met with them again today, and they will also be part of proceedings tomorrow.
The fact of the matter is also that you didn't meet all families, and you've named all of the victims, and you have some families who are upset, and that's why what you're doing is unfair.
It is not unfair at all. Subsequent to the billboard being up, there were approaches that were made to the party by a committee that represents the residents. We responded to that, and we had an engagement with them. And what is key at this stage is that there was a discussion that the leadership of the party, again in Gauteng, initiated those discussions with the families. Those discussions were fruitful yesterday. They resulted in a secondary engagement which took place earlier today. And as a direct result of those two engagements, even tomorrow there is a joint effort where the families will be joining the party in hosting a memorial service outside of the office of the Gauteng Premier. And that shows the extent to which the engagement has been fair and consistent.
Solly, you've mentioned that 3 times, and I've mentioned my point 3 times, that not all family members have been consulted. You have family members who are threatening to take the Democratic Alliance to court because they want their family members' names to be taken down from that poster. Will you be doing that? Will you respect their wishes? These are grieving families who've already been through a lot publicly.
We haven't received any notification of legal action whatsoever coming on our way. And second, to your point, we believe that the billboard is a reflection of the reality of the situation that has been perpetuated by the ANC government. And we believe that it is an accurate way of paying tribute. And in our engagement with the families that we have engaged, there hasn't been any indication of what you are alluding to.
But you won't rule out the fact that there are still some families who are not happy about this, right?
In as much as there are also families that we have engaged that have expressed the sentiment that what we did was to hold the government of the ANC accountable, to pay tribute to those South Africans, but also to involve the families in the memorial service that is taking place tomorrow. And the mere fact that there may be some members who have different views doesn't overrule the fact that there are members of the families that we have engaged that have also agreed to be part of the memorial tomorrow as a way of a joint effort to pay tribute to those victims of Life Esidimeni.
I get that you spoke to families. I get that you have the support of some families. But is it not disrespectful for the Democratic Alliance to go against the wishes of families, some of them, who are not happy about their names being up on that billboard? That's what I'm talking about, the disrespect aspect of this. You have these families speaking publicly even. You don't need them to take you to court. They're speaking out publicly through the media that they don't want their family members' names on that billboard. Is that not good enough for the DA to sit back and say, okay, let's not offend these families because they've been through so much already?
I do not think it is disrespectful at all. As much as the sentiment that has been expressed by the families is important, it is equally important to portray what the billboard seeks to portray, which is a reflection of the hard truth that an ANC government perpetuated. Its actions perpetuated the loss of lives in Marikana, in Life Esidimeni, and to all those children who lost their lives after falling into pit latrines at schools because the ANC government neglected its mandate to provide proper sanitation at schools.
Okay, so you don't think it's disrespectful even though families are asking for the names to be removed? Because to you, this is about calling out the ANC, which is obviously politicking ahead of the elections.
Absolutely not. It's a way of paying tribute. We're paying tribute at the same time that we're holding the government accountable. Hence, tomorrow we're also having a memorial service once again, which will also be attended by members of the families that we have been able to engage with, who have offered their support to that memorial service and who will also be partaking in those proceedings.
You did say yesterday that for now the billboard will stay up. That means you might reconsider. Why and what would make you reconsider?
The billboard is up. The billboard will be up for the time that it's been contracted to. It is up now. It will be up tomorrow, and it will be up for the time that it is due to be up there.
All right. Guess you can stick to your guns and have people unhappy. Thanks so much for your time. DA spokesperson Solly Malatsi.